Notice to the public, if you wish to address the council, please complete the public wishing to address the council form located on either end of the counter and give it to either the chairman or the council clerk prior to the beginning of the meeting. All comments must be addressed to the council as a whole. Addressing individual council members or staff is not allowed. Speakers should be courteous in their choice of words and actions, and comments shall be limited to the issue and cannot involve individuals or staff-related matters. All cell phones and electronic devices used for communication should be silenced for the duration of the meeting. And I'd like to call the meeting of the Terrebonne Parish Council of Wednesday, December 11th, 2024 to order. We'll have the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance by Councilman Champagne. Give me your light, sir.
Heavenly Father, as we gather here today, we seek your guidance and wisdom. Grant us clarity of thought and unity of purpose as we deliberate on matters that affect our community. May our discussions be filled with integrity, compassion, and a commitment to the common good of all those we serve. We ask for your blessings on our efforts and strength to carry out our duties as of this parish. Council, amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with justice for all. Ms. Alicia, may we have a roll call, please?
Yes, sir. Mr. Champagne, Mr. Hamner, Mr. Babin, Ms. Chauvin, Mr. Trusclair, Mr. Pleasure, Mr. Harding, Mr. Voisin, Mr. Amity.
Here.
Mr. Chairman, you have a quorum present.
Thank you, ma'am. I'd like to read this letter. Please accept my apologies for not being in attendance at tonight's council meeting due to a work-related matter. I have reviewed the agenda and have made known my concerns. I apologize for any inconvenience that my absence may cause. Councilman Steve Trosclair. Approve the minutes of the regular council session held on November 4th, 2024. Moved by Mr. Harding. Second by Mr. Champagne. Members, vote your machine. Seven yeas, 0 nays. Motion carries. Distribute the minutes of the regular council session held on November 20th, 2024. It's been done. Approve accounts payable bill list for 11/22/2024, 12/2/2024, and 12/9/2024. Moved by Mr. Pleasure, seconded by Mr. Harding. Members, vote your machines. 7 yeas, 0 nays. Motion carries. Item 1, general business. Ms. Brandy Lerat from Gulf Coast Social Services would like to introduce the new Youth Mobile Crisis Response 24/7 Crisis Hotline. Ms. Lerat, please state your name and address for the record.
Brandy Lerat, 241 Port Royal Way, Houma, Louisiana, 70360.
Okay, the mic is yours, ma'am.
Thank you. So my name is Brandy, as I just said. I'm the Region 3 Director of Operations of Gulf Coast Social Services. We were founded here in Houma 41 years ago and currently provide 20 different home and community-based services for our youth, veterans, elderly, and disabled individuals in our parish. I am here tonight very excited to announce that we were awarded the Youth Mobile Crisis Response Team for our area, lower 7 parishes, but we are our focus right now is Terrebonne Parish and Lafourche Parish. So what that means is, so a crisis is very subjective for a youth. We have a team of professionals who are well trained. They respond to a vast array of mental health issues. A crisis could be anything from a breakup to anxiety, depression issues. It could be suicidal ideations. There's so many reasons why we would get that call. So we're partnered by with 988, which is our suicide crisis hotline. But we also have our own crisis hotline. So anyone can call us directly, and they are connected to a live individual that would answer the phone by Gulf Coast, by someone on call. So our goal or our mission is to serve the youth ages 0 to 20 by providing intervention and stabilization. Ideally, we want to avoid inpatient hospitalizations and law enforcement involvement. We have a just-to-go approach, meaning that we keep our phone conversations short and we mob out to wherever that youth is in that moment. It's been proven more effective in time of a crisis, and we are trained by LSU doctors that teach us, I guess, these tactics or these ways on how to respond to crisis. I do want to share, most importantly, that we do not bill families, that this is reimbursed by most insurances, Medicaid primarily, but we are prepared for those that are underinsured or not insured or even privately insured. We do not bill them, so it would be our cost if we move out to a crisis. So I'm here to ask you to help share the word, spread the word. We did start our outreach, I would guess about 4 or 5 weeks ago, we started our outreach efforts. We are going to continue that throughout this process while we build up this program. But I would be happy to schedule any like individual meetings, presentations with any of you. If you know of anybody that would benefit from this program, I would absolutely appreciate if you just share that crisis line with them, post the flyers wherever you may work or may visit throughout your week. I think that's pretty much it. We're currently navigating ways to involve our mental crisis response with 911 or with, emergency response. We would love one day for them to actually call us in addition to calling law enforcement or EMS whenever there's a mental health call, because ideally we want to get involved before they do. And of course that's not utilizing the resources that we have for those mental health. We're just, and to be honest, we're more prepared and more educated on those calls. So we would like to be the one to navigate through those mental health calls and leave our EMS and our law enforcement doing what they should be doing, the criminal activity and the medical emergencies, and let us handle the mental health crisis. So I think that's it. Any questions?
We do, so stay
Okay,
at the mic.
All right.
I double tapped you, Kevin. Mr. Champagne.
Yeah, so I met with Brandy. I was going to ask you to come and speak tonight because these are going to be some, I really think, critical services to our community. Two things I think you kind of left out is if they get there and the person needs to go to the hospital, they will transport that person to the hospital themselves in their vehicles. And B, if they don't go to the hospital, they will follow up for 6 or 7 days after the fact to make sure that person's okay. So I just want to add those kind of extra things that they're not just going to evaluate and let the patient go or the person go. So.
Thank you, Kevin. I did leave that out. We do have we do create a crisis plan, and we do provide resources. So the follow-up, I guess, is the most important part of all of this, is the follow-up and making sure that they're connected to the right resources, the right therapy, whatever that looks like for them.
All right, you done, Mr. Champagne? Ms. Chauvin?
Yes. How would we get more of these to put them at the businesses in our community? And have you gone to the schools? Are you allowed to go into the schools to give these out?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
so it is getting out to the kids. Now, hopefully it gets to the parents, but just kind of wondering where we would get them from to put them at the businesses for people to be able to see them on the boards.
I can email you, Ms. Chauvin, and we can coordinate that, and I'll make sure that I get those to you.
Okay.
I have plenty. But I did meet with Mr. Torbert this week, who's our Director of Child Welfare and Attendance, and 2 counselors, his lead counselors. We do have a meeting scheduled January 31st, so that I can meet with all of our Terrebonne Parish counselors and make sure that they are fully educated and aware of the program.
Okay, thank you, I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Ms. Chauvin. Mr. Pleasure. Change your mind?
Yeah, I'll call you.
Okay, no problem.
All right. And I would assume you have the information on your website as well?
Yes, we do. Yes.
Okay. You were talking about, working with 911. I would also suggest, if you haven't done so, speaking with the sheriff, because if they can get that into the deputy's hands, when they recognize that call, they can, at the minimum, request that one of you guys go, because they would, I could tell you, more than love to have you guys handle a situation if so. So thank you for what you're doing. Your organization has always been doing good things in the parish, and we appreciate that. And thank you for coming out and sharing this with us, because it's a vital need in our community, and we're glad to see that you guys are stepping up to take it.
I agree. Thank you so much.
Thank
Appreciate
you,
it.
Ms. Leverett. Item B is a commendation. Commendation, Mrs. Gwendolyn Traha, commending Mrs. Gwendolyn Traha for her years portraying Mrs. Claus as part of Terrebonne Parish's holiday festivities. Ms. Chauvin.
Whereas Mrs. Claus, Santa's wife, was the first described in the story A Christmas Legend in 1849 by James Reed, a Christian missionary based in Philadelphia, and whereas Mrs. Claus, as part of the Santa Claus legend, has also traditionally been associated with gift-giving and encouraging the ideal that it is truly better to give than receive. And whereas Miss Gwendolyn Traha has been portraying Mrs. Claus since 2008 as part of Terrebonne Parish's holiday events, and whereas Mrs. Traha has been known for giving gingerbread cookies to the children and the adults of Terrebonne Parish to encourage good tidings and cheer. Now therefore be it resolved by the Terrebonne Parish Council on behalf of the parish president and the entire Terrebonne Parish consolidated government that Mrs. Gwendolyn Traha be hereby commended for her time portraying Mrs. Claus during the holiday festivities and for spreading wonder and joy to the residents of Terrebonne Parish. Presented this 11th day of December 2024. I just want y'all to know my good roots.
Do you have Kim, you have the copy?
Oh, she didn't bring it? Oh, she's coming down.
Oh, thank you so much.
I thought you were gonna give her a boot.
Thank you.
She did say she didn't want to talk, but I'm sure she wants to say thank you.
Ms. Traha, before you go, I think a few people want to say something. Mr. Harding?
Yeah, my classmate, it's so nice to see you. And next time those gingerbread men cakes come up, you know what I mean? Forget about your class. Don't forget about your classmates. So look, thank you.
You see? You done sold yourself off. Now you got to speak at the mic.
I gotta tell you about the gingerbread story, though. The first or second year that I did it, when I walked into the courtyard, this little boy came running to me, and I gave him a candy cane, and he said, "I thought you made cookies." I said, "Oh." I said, "I didn't have time." So the next year, I personally bought a bunch of gingerbreads, and then my husband started buying them for me, and then I got Rouse's to donate them, and then the parish now provides them. But that's how it started, because that little boy wanted a cookie, not a candy cane.
It's a pleasure seeing you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mr. Hamner?
Oh, yeah. I just wanted to thank Mrs. C. For letting my good friend S.C. come visit me every year on the 25th of December. You know, he comes to my house every year. We have cookies and milk together. With a little something. But he you know, if you wouldn't let him out the house to come every year like he does, you know, my Christmas wouldn't be the same. And then after he leaves, you know, usually I'm the last house. He goes to Europe first, and then he comes to my house, you know, down here. I think South Louisiana is the last stop he makes, because he always tells me he's off to Florida for you know, from the 25th to the 1st. On the 6th of January, he always brings a little something back to my house. And, you know, I really appreciate the work that you and SC do, because it brings lots of joy to all the kids no matter what the age are, whether you're 6 or 60. Thank you.
Thank you for letting me do it.
And yes, y'all, Santa Claus is real.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Hammond.
Jason's going to pass an ordinance on that.
Thank you again, Ms. Trahan.
Thank
You guys
y'all.
enjoyed your evening.
Appreciate it all. Thank you.
Item 2, public wishing to address the council in accordance with Section 2-07E of the Terrebonne Parish Home Rule Charter. The public will be heard and can speak for 3 minutes on any matter related to parish government without discussion or questions and answers on non-agenda items. I have one speaker card, Mr. Welton Lewis. If you'd please come up to the microphone, state your name and address for the record, and share this information with us, sir.
Yes, sir. My name is Welton Lewis, 100 Winfield Boulevard, Houma, Louisiana, 70360. Thank you for your time. I appreciate all of y'all's service. I'm seeing progress, and I really do appreciate it. I've been in Terrebonne Parish for quite a while. I remember the Bijou Theater, and I remember when they had a soda fountain at Haydell's Drugstore, which is now Downtown Joe's. I come to y'all tonight as a member of We the People Bayou community. Some of y'all are familiar with us, some of y'all aren't. But we are promoting an American history class that's going to be coming up on January the 11th. We're going to be teaching this class at Fletcher. It's going to be the making of America. It's going to be the early part of American history, going up to and concluding with the 10 amendments of the Constitution. We are going to be charging $30 per person. We're not trying to make any profit. We're just covering expenses. It's going to be Saturday, January 11th. We're going to start at 8 o'clock in the morning, and we'll continue through 4 o'clock in the evening. And we will be providing workbooks. We will be providing lunch. And we would just wanted to share this with y'all if you know anybody that's interested. We do have a website where you can register and pay for the class. And I really appreciate it if y'all would share this with anybody that you can. If anybody's interested, please let me know.
And Mr. Lewis, you have that on your Facebook page,
We do
the
have,
flyer that people can reshare that?
yes, sir. And like I said, we have info at
I
wethepeoplebayou.org.
just have the one. You want it?
Then you can go there, and all of our registration information is on that.
All
So,
right.
thank y'all.
Thank you.
Okay.
I have a motion to deviate by Mr. Harding, second by Mr. Pledger. Members, vote your machines. We'll be going to committee reports. 8 yeas, 0 nays. Item 3, committee reports. Accept the minutes of the Terrebonne Parish Sales and Use Tax Advisory Board meeting dated December 3rd, 2024, and consider ratification of the actions relative to recommendation for the adoption of a resolution accepting the Louisiana Compliance Questionnaire for the 2024 year-end audit, recommendation to accept the 2024 projected year-end budget, recommendation to accept the 2025 proposed budget, and declaring items in the Sales and Use Tax Department as surplus property and dispose of the same. We have a motion by Mr. Pledger, seconded by Mr. Harding. Mr. Pledger, you have comment?
No, I never comment.
Press the wrong button.
I did.
The members, vote your machines. 8 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries. Item B is Budget and Finance Committee. That's why you had your light on, sir.
Yeah, you're right.
Mr. Pledger.
Thanks, Mr. Chair. I make a motion that the council accept and ratify the minutes of the Budget and Finance Committee held on Monday, December 9th, 2024, and I have no public hearings.
We have a motion by Mr. Pledger, a second by Mr. Babin. Members, vote your machines. 7 yeas, 1 abstention. Item C, Community Development Planning. Ms. Chauvin.
I make a motion that the council accept and ratify the minutes of the Community Development and Planning Committee held on December 9th, 2024, and I have one public hearing. Consider the introduction of an ordinance to amend Chapter 30, Elections, Districts, and Precincts of the Parish Code to merge certain voting precincts and to establish new boundaries for merged precincts and call a public hearing on Wednesday, January 15th, 2025 at 6:30 p.m.
We have a motion by Ms. Chauvin, a second by Mr. Harding. Members
I
vote,
would be hanging.
vote your machines.
One.
8 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries. Item D, Public Services Committee, Mr. Babin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I make a motion that the council accept and ratify the minutes of the Public Service Committee meeting held on Monday, December 9th, 2024, and I have no public hearings.
Second.
Yep, we have a motion by Mr. Babin, second by Mr. Champagne. Members vote your machines. 8 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries. Item 4, streetlights. As per Mr. Pledger, second Mr. Harding. Members vote your machine. 8 yeas, 0 nays. Motion carries. Item 5, appointments to various boards, committees, and commissions. A, 911 Communications District Board 3, expiring terms on 12/31/24. Mr. Christopher LeConte Jr. expresses his interest in being reappointed. Mr. Peter J. Guidry expresses his interest in being appointed. So we have a motion by Mr. Harding to open, close, and appoint Mr. LeConte and Mr. Guidry and hold the other over. Do I have a second? Mr. Babin. Members vote your machines. 8 yeas, 0 nays. Item B, Downtown Development Corporation, 6 expired terms, each representing one of the following entities. 3 representing the Parish Council, 1 representing the Chamber of Commerce, 1 representing the Historical Society, and 1 representing Downtown Merchants. Ms. Sandra Corbett, representing the council, expresses her interest in being reappointed.
Motion to open, close, and reappoint Ms. Corbett and hold the other 5 over.
So we have a motion by Mr. Babin to open, close, and reappoint Ms. Corbett and hold the others over. Seconded was by Mr. Champagne. Members vote your machines. 8 yeas, 0 nays. Item C, Planning Commission, 2 expiring terms. Mr. Barry J. Soudier expresses his interest in being reappointed, and Mr. Robbie Liner expresses his interest in being reappointed.
Close and reappoint Mr. Soudier and appoint Mr. Liner.
So we have a motion by Mr. Babin to open, close, and reappoint Mr. Soudier and Mr. Liner, seconded by Ms. Chauvin. Members vote your machines. Sharing the wealth. 8 yeas, 0 nays. Sometimes you hear 2 voices, and I just kind of keep things moving so it looks like people are fully engaged. Let everybody have a chance. Item D, Port Commission. 2 expiring terms on 12/31/24, 1 representing each of the following: SCIA and Chamber of Commerce. Mr. Martin Majewski, representing SCIA, submits application and resume for consideration, and Mr. Jake Email, representing SCIA, submits application and resume for consideration. Mr. Steve Crispino, representing the Chamber of Commerce, expresses his interest in being reappointed. For clarity, folks, this requires a voice vote for the SCIA appointees, candidates, and we can only appoint 1. So, Mr. Pledger?
Motion to open, close, and, motion to appoint Mr. Steve Crispino and voice vote for the SCIA.
All right, so we have a motion by Mr. Pledger, seconded by Mr. Babin, to reappoint Mr. Crispino and call a voice vote on the other 2 candidates. Ms. Smith, may we have the voice vote for the SCIA?
Okay, Mr. Champagne.
Ms. Chauvin?
Oh, okay.
You have a question?
You need to vote. You need to vote first, or you can have a question?
No, we don't have to vote on Crispino.
No. She has a question. We do that before the vote.
Okay. That's what I thought. All right. I'm looking in the backup and I'm seeing like the application done by two of them, and I don't see the application done by the third. It should be? Okay, no problem. Move on. We're good.
All right, so, Ms. Smith?
Okay, Mr.
Remember-
Champagne,
Mr. Majowski?
Mr. Hamner,
Majowski.
Mr. Babin, Ms. Chauvin, Mr. Trustclair, Mr. Pleasure, Mr. Harding, Mr. Voisin, Mr. Amity,
Majewski?
It's Majestic, Majeski.
Mr. M.
Oh, 8 for Majeski.
What's the right, how do you say that?
Mr. Pleasure?
I just would like to know the proper
Pronunciation of his
pronunciation of that name, just to make sure, because
You
I
got
know we
one?
just chopped it up. Okay, all right. I just was wondering, because, we chopped that up pretty bad.
The pronunciation, Martin.
I believe he was on Rec 2-3 at one point. I remember he was on something anyway. So, all right, so we need to vote on the reappointment.
Yes.
Members, vote your machines on the reappointment of Mr. Crispino.
And the
All right, so 8 yeas, 0 nays. Item 6, vacancies for various boards, committees, and commissions. A, Recreation District 2-3 Board, 1 expired term. Recreation District Number 7 Board, 1 expiring term on 1/9/25. Fire Protection District Board Number 4, 2 expiring terms on 1/1/25. Fire Protection District Board Number 5, 1 expiring term on 1/1/25. Fire Protection District Number 6 Board, 3 expiring terms on 1/1/25. Fire Protection District Number 7, 2 expiring terms on 1/1/25. Fire Protection District Number 8 Board, 2 expiring terms on 1/1/25. Fire Protection District Number 9 Board, 2 expiring terms on 1/1/25. Fire Protection District Number 10 Board, 2 expiring terms on 1/1/25. Village East Fire Protection Board, 1 expiring term on 1/1/25. Coteau Fire Protection District Board, 2 expiring terms on 1/1/25 and 1 expired term. Schriever Fire Protection District Board, 3 expiring terms on 1/1/25. Bayou Blue Fire Protection District Board, 2 expiring terms on 1/1/25. Bayou Cane Fire Protection District Board, 3 expiring terms on 1/1/25. Children and Youth Services Planning Board, 2 expired terms, 1 representing the faith-based organization and 1 representing Bayou Area Children Foundation. Downtown Development Corporation, 5 expired terms, each representing the following entities: 2 representing the council, 1 representing the Chamber of Commerce, 1 representing the Historical Society, and 1 representing downtown merchants. Municipal Civil Service Board, 1 expired term representing the council nominated by Nicholls State University, and 1 vacancy due to resignation representing the council nominated by Nicholls State University. Terrebonne Parish Tree Board, 1 expired term and 1 vacancy due to a resignation. Veterans Memorial District Board, 2 vacancies due to resignations, 1 representing the parish president south of the Intracoastal, and 1 representing Russell Redmond, American Legion Post 272. Board of Adjustments, 1 expired term. Port Commission, 1 expiring term on 12/31/24, representing the Chamber of Commerce. 9/11 Communications District, 1 expiring term on 12/31/2024. And Homa Housing Authority, 1 expiring term on 1/1/28 parish president appointment. Homa Public Trust, 2 expiring terms on 12/26/24. I have a motion by Mr. Harding to go back into regular order. Second by Ms. Chauvin. Members, vote your machines. Reason why I hesitated is, I guess we're just announcing that because you appoint everybody. 8 yeas, 0 nays, so we're going back to 6:30, public hearings. Item A, an ordinance amending the parish code, creating the Grand Caillou Fire Protection Bureau as a certified fire prevention agency, defining the intent, purpose, and organization of the said bureau, and providing for related matters. First call for public. Second call for public. Third and final call for public. Motion to close, Mr. Babin. Second, Mr. Harding. Members, vote your machines. Eight yeas, 0 nays. Motion to adopt, Mr. Babin. Second, Mr. Harding. Members, vote your machines. 7 yeas, 0 nays. Motion, the ordinance is adopted. Item B, an ordinance amending the parish code to establish a 15-mile-an-hour speed limit along the entire length of Christopher Drive and to provide for the installation of said signs and to provide for other matters relative thereto. First call for public. Second call public. Third and final call public. Who was that? Mr. Champagne. Motion by Mr. Champagne, seconded by Mr. Harding. Members, vote your machines. Six yeas, 0 nays. Motion to adopt, Mr. Champagne, second, Mr. Harding. Members, vote your machines. Seven yeas, 0 nays. Ordinance is adopted. Item C, an ordinance to amend the 2024 adopted operating budget and 5-year capital outlay budget of the Terrebonne Parish Consolidated Government for the following items and to provide for related matters. Number one, dedicated emergency fund, $4,362,541. Item two, dedicated emergency fund, $2,977,647. Item three, dedicated emergency fund, $441,913. Item four, Bayou Country Sports Park, $82,957. Item five, 5% budget adjustment for sales tax revenue. A, general fund, $124,000. It's a credit of $124,123. B, public safety fund, credit $125,123. C, road and bridge fund, credit $54,519. D, drainage tax fund, credit $97,802. E, sales tax fund, credit $93,035. F, Terrebonne Parish Levy and Conservation District credit $54,517. Item 6, 5% budget adjustment for Parish Prisoners Fund, $700,200. Item 7, sanitation, $81,400. Item 8, jail plumbing project, $85,340. Item 9, Hollywood Road Extension Bridge, $200,000. First call for public. Second call for public. Third and final call for public. Motion to close, Mr. Babin. Second, Mr. Champagne. Members, vote your machines. 8 yeas, 0 nays. Motion to adopt, Mr. Babin. Second, Mr. Champagne. Members, vote your machines. 8 yeas, 0 nays. Ordinance is adopted. Item D, an ordinance to declare a surplus adjudicated property located at 103 Fisherman's Lane in which the parish has a 12.5% interest. First call for public. Second call for public. Third and final call for public. We have a motion to close, Mr. Babin. Second, Mr. Harding. Members, vote your machines. 8 yeas, 0 nays. Motion to adopt, Mr. Babin. Second, Mr. Harding. Members, vote your machine. 8 yeas, 0 nays. Ordinance is adopted. Item E, an ordinance authorizing the parish president to execute a cooperative endeavor agreement between Terrebonne Parish Consolidated Government and Laura Hoyt for the right of use of 107 Fisherman's Lane, Dulac, Louisiana, 70353, parcel ID number 27288. First call for public. Second call for public. Third and final call, public. We have a motion to close by Mr. Babin, second by Mr. Champagne. Members, vote your machines. 8 yeas, 0 nays. Motion to adopt, Mr. Babin, second, Mr. Harding. Members, vote your machines.
Thank you.
8 yeas, 0 nays. Ordinance is adopted. Item F, An ordinance to adopt the 2025 operations and maintenance budget and 5-year capital improvement budget of the Terrebonne Parish Consolidated Government as presented by the parish president and further amended by the Terrebonne Parish Council to amend the parish compensation plan for new and/or adjusted positions and to address other matters relative thereto. First call for public. Second call for public. Third and final call for public. We have a motion to close, Mr. Babin. Second, Mr. Pleasure. Members vote your machines. 8 yeas, 0 nays. We have a motion to adopt by Mr. Babin, seconded by Mr. Pleasure. And for speaking, Mr. Pleasure.
Thanks, Mr. Chair. I have a question. Ms. Candace, I see where we have the executive summary. We also have the ordinance in there, but we have no other backup as relates to the parish compensation plan for new and/or adjusted positions. I know during the budget hearings, we had talked and discussed all of these positions, reorganization, we're doing all that. They're pretty much all lateral moves. I just want to make sure that, you know, nobody's losing anything or anything like that. It's just a question, I guess.
Ms. Malden.
Yes, sir, Mr. Pledger. So everything that we talked about during the budget hearings, changing departments, moving, you are correct. It's all lateral moves. Nobody is getting a reduction in pay or losing anything. It's just moving them around for reorganization purposes. And we did have several positions that were eliminated in the budget, but all of those positions were vacant, open positions. So it's not anybody losing their job.
Absolutely. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Ms. Malden. Mr. Pleasure. Members vote your machines. 8 yeas, 0 nays. Ordinance is adopted. Item G, an ordinance amending the parish code to establish a 15-mile-per-hour speed limit along the entire length of Wayne Avenue to provide for the installation of said signs and to provide for other matters relative thereto. First call for public. Second call for public. Third and final call for public. We have a motion to close by Mr. Wazan, seconded by Mr. Harding. Members vote your machines. 8 yeas, 0 nays. Motion to adopt by Mr. Wazan, second by Ms. Chauvin. Members vote your machines. 8 yeas, 0 nays. Motion is adopted. So just so y'all know, Mr. Wazan does speak. Y'all heard him. All right, we're going back to item 7, monthly engineering reports. As per Mr. Babin, second Mr. Harding. Members vote your machines. 8 yeas, 0 nays. Motion carries. Item 8 is announcements. Mr. Parish President.
Yes, sir. We have a few things going on this weekend. We have Live at the 5, Friday, December 13th at 7 p.m. at the Courthouse Square. Saturday, December 14th, we have music in the Courthouse Square from 1:30 to 4:30 and a showing of It's a Wonderful Life at 5 p.m. Sunday, December 15th, we have Christmas Around the World concert at 3 p.m. at the Regional Military Museum. And then I hear there's going to be snow, strangely, on the hour for 15 minutes on the 13th, 14th, and 15th from 12 to 7 in the Rodeo Centennial Plaza. So, looks like a weatherman. I guess I could be half right in this case, but I understand it'll be snow this weekend.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Chauvin?
So on December 21st at 9 a.m. in Montague, they will have the Santa going around the area and dropping off little things to kids. So I'll be the Santa spotter for that also. And December 22nd at 9 a.m. starting. So you would have to follow my page to find out more about it. It has Santa, Mrs. Claus, and the elves that are going to hit the street on those times to give out little goodies. But I will be putting it probably every 15 minutes where there will be so that the kids don't miss out. Thanks.
Thank you, Ms. Chauvin. Mr. Babin?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. You know, you've heard me say this before, government can't function without boards and commissions. If you listen to the long litany that Mr. Amade read just a while ago, there's 43 positions that are open in Terrebonne Parish. Please take part in your community, put your name in, and be appointed to one of these boards. I'm sure out of 43 appointments, there's something that interests a lot of people. So again, we cannot function without boards and commissions to help us. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Babin. Mr. Pleasure?
Thanks, thanks, Mr. Chair. Just also want to make a note that on December 22nd at 2 p.m., they'll have the 4th annual Mechanicville Christmas Parade. So you guys come out and check that out. All right, thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Pleasure. And just a reminder, everybody, we're starting the cold weather. Check on your neighbors, especially your elderly ones, and make sure that they have what they need to keep warm. It's always a good time during the holiday season where people check on one another because of depression sometimes sets in. No, Danny, you're just old. With that, I have a motion adjourned by Mr. Babin, seconded by Mr. Pleasure. Members, vote your machines. And for the record, we do have meetings next Monday and Wednesday. I've gotten that question a couple of times. So we'll see y'all then. Good night, everybody.